Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. This is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. If you didn't watch my video last night, it was about a girl swiping and texting with these guys that are surrounding her, and she narrows it down to nobody. Her criteria was so strict that she ended up not choosing anyone. Well, I had fun doing that video, and for me as a content creator, sometimes I just want to do stuff that's fun. So I went back to Jubilee, and I found a video where basically there's a girl and a guy, and these are two different videos, but I'm slamming them into one. And what they do is they, in real life, they will stand there and judge 30 people that come to them, and they either swipe right and say yes, or swipe no, swipe left and say no. And then from there, out of that group of people, they interview and talk to them, and they find out, hey, is there a match in here? So I'm going to record this, and you'll get the gist of it as we get going, but I think you'll find this really fun because it shows you the selectivity of women and versus the selectivity of men when it comes to dating and dating apps, and I think it's good stuff. So let's get started here, and we'll have a little bit of fun. All right, so here's our 30 contestants. Now watch her selections. I have to break it up because of copyright stuff, but watch her selections.
No.
All right. Begin.
Notice he's shorter than she is. Maybe might have something to do with it.
Sorry.
Big guy does do it. Neck beard doesn't make it. And he doesn't make it. That guy looked like a muscular Jet Li, didn't he? Just a little bit? I think he did. That's the little Elvis-looking dude. He didn't make it. Big guy doesn't make it. No. Falling down doesn't make it. Big guy didn't make it. Engineer. LeBron James made it. Nope. I think she made a mistake. Oh, Fester made it. And Dreads made it. All right, so what do we have out of 30 guys? So we have 30 guys here. Let's see how she did.
That was so awkward.
All right, so out of 30 guys, she picked 8, which means she eliminated 22. That's not really good. I mean, she's already out of 30 of them, 10 would be the top, right? Third of them, which is 66% and better. So what's she at? Maybe 70%? So she eliminated 70% just based on looks. That leaves only the top 30%.
To the men, if you were on a dating app and you would swipe no, please leave now.
Oh.
All right, LeBron James and the other guys out. All right, so basically that leaves her with 6, right? And so she eliminated the vast majority of that. And I'm making a point of this because in the next video, you'll see where this comes into play. She eliminated the vast majority of them and only kept 8. Now she's down to 6, and only 2 guys said no to her.
Not her. Okay.
All right, so now I'm going to fast forward because what they do is they interview, and you can see here, like, they sit down and she asks questions and interviews them, and I'm not going to go through all that. I'll leave the links to the videos down below. All right, so she says goodbye to the last guy, and let's hear who she picks.
Is there anything else you want to follow up with?
I don't think so.
And she picks none of them. So out of 30, she gets 0. 0 dates. And of course, she's obvious. And the other thing she did mention that I jumped over at the very, very beginning is she doesn't do any real world dating. She meets everybody on dating apps. So you guys out there that say, I've said this myself, the dating apps are not designed for your average guy. They're only designed for looks and income and that kind of thing, because you don't get a chance to get your personality, that kind of thing out there. Well, even after these guys interviewed with her, she still picked 0. Okay, so let's flip over to the guy's video here, and we'll kind of see how they do on this one. Now, I'll say this much for the guy. He's taller. He's got a good head of hair. He's good looking, good teeth. I'm instantly jealous. So I think he's got all the things that a lot of women, I think, would look for, at least. So we'll see how it goes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Now, interesting enough, as a guy, I was really surprised by his selections because they're much, this really shows you how much eye is of the beholder, because he swiped right on some that I probably wouldn't and swiped left on some that I probably wouldn't. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying I wouldn't swipe right on any of them, but that's not the point. The point is here to just kind of say, hey, if you took part in this project, could you find some to swipe on? And otherwise, there'd be no show. Let's be honest. Also notice he's taller than almost all of them. I don't think I've seen any that are his height. Nicki Minaj is out. Nicki Minaj is out. See, now I think I would have swiped right on this girl, just comparatively to the other ones, but he says no to that. And same thing. Oh, he says yes to that one. Okay, that surprises me. Oh, blue hair. Oh, he's in trouble now. Now, this one, she reminds me a little bit of from Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone. See, I might have said right on her, too. All right, so on the other video, remember to keep in mind, the other video, she had chosen out of 30, she had chosen 8. 2 bounced, but only those two said no to her, and she ended up with 6. Now he, just like a bell curve, we talk all the time about how men are on a bell curve on dating apps are pretty much accurate with what they think is average. He's literally come in right down the middle. So the ones that he felt were less than average for him, he said no. The ones yes, and he's showing he's right in line. With her, though, she said 70% of men did not meet her expectations, which means that her average is obviously skewed. So he's got 16. Now remember, the other girl had 2 guys walk away at this point.
This is a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm about to get like the shit beat out of me. Like
Don't make us nervous.
If you would swipe left, which means no, on Anshul here, please leave.
And boom. Now remember, the other girl lost 2 at this point. All these girls are saying no to him. Tall, he's not bad looking guy. He's, I guess you'd call him tall, dark, and handsome, wouldn't you? They all, and next to him, nope. Just like that. Look how many bail on him. So he went from 16 down to 6, so 10 of them said no to him. See, when we talk about selectiveness and being picky, you can see the guys are not that picky when it comes to at least trying to talk to somebody and maybe get to know them. It's the women that are. Because at this point, this is all about looks. These girls didn't think he was up to snuff, but the guys gave the other girl a chance. I think that's crazy. All right, so here they go through the interview part, and let me get it to where we need it to be. Right
this is
here.
the part where the dating life goes into the real world, right? Like, how do you make that kind of decision? Hello again. Hello. Nice to see you yet again, Catherine. Yeah. Cool. So
She looks very shy. She looks kind of a little bit girl next door. You saw her play with the hair a little bit, so she's sending some attraction signals
really
there.
great time talking to you.
And they end up making a connection. They have a connection, and that is that. I'll leave the links to both videos if you want to look down through them. I don't think you want to necessarily hear the interview parts of this. But the takeaway here, what I wanted to point out, is when it came to her picking, out of 30, she chose 8. Then 2 said no to her, which left her with 6. So in other words, she did most of the eliminating. Out of 30, only 2 that she had selected eliminated her. Now, when it comes to the guy, he said 50% of you are below average, 50% are above average in my taste, right? And so that's average. That pretty much falls right down the line. Now, again, we don't have to necessarily agree with his choices. Everybody's preferences are different. As I said, he said yes to many that I wouldn't have and no to like one that I wouldn't have. But for me, one of the things that is an attractive factor for me is athleticism and being svelte, being relatively thinner. With the averages going up as they are, that's on me. I either need to adjust that or decide to be alone. I'm going to be alone. But the point is, he left with 16. Out of those 16, 10 bounced on him. Big difference. Again, the ladies are the ones that are being picky. The ladies are the ones being selective. And women like to say, oh, it's because we make our own money now and we can be selective and we're strong and empowered. That's great. Hey, that's fine. But understand, as a guy, if you're in this situation and you're saying, I don't understand, I'm having zero luck in the dating world, I'm not getting matches on the apps, which both of them have said that that's primarily all they use to date. Well, meeting in the real world is becoming harder and harder and harder. So if you're outside of these statistical, exceptional niceties, tall, attractive, athletic, so on and so forth, you never get a chance to get your personality out there. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be tougher for you since a lot of people do the online thing to find dating. So if you're not getting selected or you're having a rough time, here you can see this guy, he's relatively, as I said, tall, good looking, has his stuff together, and they haven't even talked about finances or anything else. So, guys, I thought you'd have a kick out of this one. I'll leave it there. It's kind of self-explanatory, and it kind of shows you how who is making the selective process and who's being a little too picky, I would say. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you have, thank you very much. And the best way you can support me is like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my older videos. And join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com if you'd like to join the forums and read our posts. And come on over and you can support me for $3 a month over there as well. And that allows you to post and you to reply on posts over there. It's going to be our own little forum in the wilderness. Guys, I'll leave it there. This is Better Bachelor. I'm Joker. Remember, it's always the girls that are the picky ones. The guys pretty much fall right down the averages. But it's the girls being overly selective, I think. And in that case, it's going to make dating for both sexes much harder in the future.